what is making you seem or feel like you are behind is a certain type of sight the world has given you. It's a corrupted sight. It's a very wrong sight. So age you should have. Who said? Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Tomorrow. And today we'll be talking about a very, very, very interesting topic. We thought it so interesting that we're bringing the part 2. What am I talking about? FOMO, the fear of missing out, part 2. That's what we are doing today. So today we are taking a deeper dive into the fear of missing out, and we're really interested in talking about and in asking how far is too far in the race not to miss out, if you get what I'm trying to say. How far is too far? It's that simple. You know, some people can go very, very great lengths not to miss out. You know, extreme things, they do it, they accommodate it because everybody wants to, like we say, arrive. So even if the arrival does not necessarily mean more than the acquisition of very perishable things, you know, well, who are we to judge? Who are we to judge? Every man has the right to pursue what gives him or her fulfillment. But how about when that pursuit involves the use of dubious methods? If you get to, I know you get me. The use of should we call it healthy desperation? If you get what I'm trying to say. The fear of missing out. You just do anything and everything. How far is too far? Should there be limits? Those are the questions we're asking today. And you know it, I never ever do this show alone. I have very responsible, capable, interesting, packed men in the house. We are full, the house is full of men, and I think we are going to enjoy it. To my left, obviously, as you can see, the fine boy, Mister.
The one and the only.
Welcome to the show, Mr.
It's always nice to be on the show, David.
Yeah, and we also have Mr. Cyril in the house. Thank you for joining us.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
And to my far left,
I'm Daniel.
Thank you.
Please let them hear your name.
Daniel.
Okay, Daniel. Okay, I like your voice. There's a punch to it. So now we're asking the fear of missing out. I want us to take this one first. What are those things that, we often term, when you think about it and you don't have it, or you feel it's popular amongst us now, that you see that, okay, people are afraid of not having this thing or missing out on this thing. I'll go first. One thing I've seen that in our own time, a lot of people are very, very jittery about it, is relationship.
Eh?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I promise. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There are times when guys feel the need to have a trophy girlfriend.
No, the need to have a trophy girlfriend is different from the need to be in a relationship.
That's two different things.
People calm down. People that want trophy girlfriend are people that have money. The rest of us that now have money, we are looking for money.
Now I get where you're coming from. So now we have brought two things to the table. Money is one of those things people are most afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, having a significant other in some context,
mm-hmm.
not like you said, the relationship, we don't redefine everything in our generation now. So what other thing comes to mind? Or we should talk about money for starters. Material things that money can buy.
Still doing for far. That's why I wanted to say iPhone, but material things, still money.
iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, iPhone seems like the happening thing. iPhone, cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cars. I even saw some today on my way here. You see there, you admire good things. I'm not afraid of missing out.
Have you seen the latest Camry? Doesn't even look like Camry.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't even look like.
Okay. There are guys that have eyes for cars and they will go the extremes to have it happen. Mr. Cyril, how far is too far? Should we? Where do we draw the line in our pursuit of feeling among?
Well, first of all, you have to define what it is for you. And that it is in block capitals. So if you miss out, you need to know what you're missing out of.
Okay.
Really. So we need to define what that it is for you. I said it the other time that I beat that thing back a long time ago. I have a lot of big dreams.
I remember.
I wanted to be everything I wanted to be at 23. 23 came, I became hypertensive. But over time, I realized that people have different, we like call it destiny clock or time clock. We're not on the same trajectory. We could never be. And yes, and then again, there's something that is like your preparation period to get where you're going. So, like Shakespeare said, some are born great, some work hard to become great, and some have greatness thrusted on them like that. So yeah, so if you look at the life of someone like Obasanjo in Nigeria today, that man just sat back and everything he wanted fell into his lap, even against his own will. Yes, that from the stories we've read, after they killed his boss, he was in his house. His daughter said, "No, you can't become president." His whole family agreed. From the story we had, then that day went for the council meeting. Only for him to come back home that evening. The outriders were in front. His daughter was crying for fear that they would kill, because of course they knew the implication of that. It meant the man had taken on the baton of leadership. The outriders were in front. The sirens were coming. That's how you do your head of state.
Yeah.
He didn't want it. The same men that made him head of state in 75, right, came back in 1998 and told him, "You are a man again." There was this saying that, how many presidents will you make out of me? How many presidents will you make out of me?
So it falls into the category of having greatness thrust.
If you check the man's trajectory, right, at every turn. The other day, this man that died, Benjamin Adekunle, the Brigadier General, his daughter was saying that Nigeria has not celebrated their father enough. He was the one that fought and crushed the Biafran resistance. But just after he did that, Obasanjo was sent to replace him. So in the pictures, you see Obasanjo receiving the
even now. Some people even. That's what I picture when we have that conversation.
It was Adekunle Black Scorpion. That's what they call him. Head of the Third Marine Commando. He was the one that crushed the Biafran resistance. Obasanjo just came in when the food was on the table to come and take snap picture and shake hands, and it has been like that for him in almost every. In fact, sometimes he just goes from the least level to some. We learned that in Adamawa in the prison, was in Yola prison. When they went there, these people that are dating outside and when Abu Salam saw him, he wept. That was when they agreed that this man will become the next president. Imagine somebody going from that level in prison,
being that down bad,
to becoming president,
the number one.
Yes. Okay.
So we shouldn't necessarily compare.
You can't compare. If you possess a man like that, you break your leg. You will break your leg. You won't.
Do you know one thing I remember from a popular show? It was like a talk show growing up. This guy used to invite a lot of, you might know him, he used to invite a lot of footballers, musicians, politicians. You know the person I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think so.
He invited Obasanjo, and he said something that day. I was watching, I was still very young, very, very young. And he said, "Ma Faraway," that it was something maybe his dad used to say. "Ma Faraway. Sonjo Oshé Faraway." And what that means is, don't compare yourself to me. You can't even attempt it. You shouldn't attempt it. So there are times where, if we run with the idea of, I don't want to miss out, you push yourself to a place where you might regret taking.
You start doing things that, yes. There's this thing about the end justifies the means. So somebody goes to, we see these things in the news. All these stories we hear of, man cut off teenagers ear in Ondo. Woman arrested for all. A lot of those things are things people have been told they must do in order not to miss out. How can Yes.
Okay. There's one that comes to mind of was he a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old boy? I can't remember. They were in their mid-teens or early teens years in Abeokuta. I can't forget. They found the head of their third friend. The head, they had cut it clean up and they put it in maybe a calabash. And they had, it seems, there are a lot of those books around the country, some seeming spiritual, if you get that there are specifics there are specific instructions as to what to do and how to do what to do, so that the wealth will come. I don't know how they can.
But actually, that this missing out thing, right, David? Is that just? I mean, because like I said at the beginning, you have to define what it is for you.
What? Yeah.
So because I mean, every successful person, how do I put it? If you create value attracts resources.
Yes.
Maybe wealth, money and all that. So why are we jumping the gun to what value should attract? Yes. Why are we trying to do that? Because I think that's where
the problem is. One thing that is very popular amongst us now. I want you to come in here, Daniel. What the boys do to is quickly. I like that smile.
boys of nowadays, they are too desperate. So they are willing to go and be like extra miles to get.
Obviously now.
So most of them, I feel, like I say, people I know, most of them, they are into all those internet
fraud. That thing is alarming. Like even very, very
even I know boys of 13 years, 12 years going into.
There are boys that they are 9, 10, 11, and you are having a conversation with them, and their thought processes. I can't wait to have an Android phone. Why?
Most of them,
you think they want to play Candy Crush? It's a lie.
Most of them don't want Android. iPhones,
all those kind of phones that they can. There was when I was some years back when I was still going to school then, and I was doing apprenticeship. I know how to make footwear. I learned it. So I learned it with some people then that they were not as exposed and everything as I was. And they couldn't wrap their head around the fact that I was not doing it. Because they felt you understand this language, you are smart. You can easily feign some things that we need you to just start it. We will support you. We will come. They didn't understand how I wasn't using what they saw that if they could easily convert it into the way forward to them was go to the internet and make it. Why is it like that? Should I call it blindness or desperation? Or is it the fear of missing out? I want David to chime in here. Is it the fear of missing out, or comparison, or whatever?
I don't even think it's the fear of missing out anymore.
Actually,
people just really want to make money.
It has,
as on any means.
So I think what you mean is it has come to be so ingrained that they're no longer seeing it. It's like the next thing you just have to do.
You just have to do it. You just have to make, and you have to make it now, because now, truth be told, we all feel like we all make money. And I've seen a lot of people make money in their 40s and 50s. What's the reason money to do in my 40 and 50? I'm not going to be the one enjoying the money. Let's not lie. I'm not going to be the one enjoying the money. I have to prescription I have this to do. I have so many responsibilities. Really? And now, every money I make, I'm entitled to it 100%.
Okay.
There is nobody that is going to. I'm just giving you a mindset now. Now that I have like this, 20 enter my account. If I decide to remove 1,000 naira only for 1 week, it's still my money. But now when you reach 30, you have wife, you have children. Yeah, if 20 enter your account, 19 is out. Now 1 kid out. So people now want to make it now. The earlier, the better. So they will start doing the enjoyment now. So when they get there, they will have enjoyed enough. That's one thing. That's another conversation to lead us to. Let's not even go there.
They will have enjoyed enough.
Enough. So just now settle down and hey, you have to then take this, take that.
That's an assumption that is very erroneous. Do you know why I say so? I know people. I know people in their 30s, in their 40s, that they are still into this thing. They are making enough to. I say making enough. They are getting enough to take care of their family, and at the same time, they squander. They go to parties, they sleep in clubs, they do all this kind of stuff, and they did it earlier when we were younger. Then, before Android came and spoiled everywhere, that time you had to have a computer, a laptop, or a desktop. I remember they would use landlines to buy airtime. Then police used to come once in a while. Then Yahoo was a very foreign. There was one time I sat my elder brother down and said, he's browsing doing Yahoo. because I didn't know, I didn't quite understand. I remember my father laughing at that question because I didn't quite understand what it was. Then there was this, and before you knew it, there were parents that were permitting their children to. One of the issues we should talk about is our moral system as a society. Growing up, there is an adage in Yoruba that says "Omo shagba for kashowali" or something like that. What that means is he is not into laundry, he's not doing laundry work, and he's always bringing clothes home, and you are not asking questions. So then one of the standards of parents was I should be down bad, and you bring money. I'm not embracing the money. You have to explain how the money came about. I know there was something that I'm sure if I just spend money or send money to my daddy out of the blues, it will wonder where he got it wrong. That I could raise a son that is this heartless. Because to them, as long as, especially if your basic needs are met, maybe you have issues with school fees, or okay, those are serious issues, but you are not sleeping under the bridge. You can eat at least twice a day. To them, the rest is secondary. So if all those primary ones are taken care of, and you then come with the idea that you want to give them 10 million, 1 million, 500,000 without explanation, or you give them the whole, before our parents will fight you, even call police, because that was how our society was. I remember my aunt bringing fish soup home. I've shared the story here before, and I picked the head of fish. At that time I was very notorious. I was still very young. I've known I was notorious. So I picked the head of fish. I ate it. I ate the fish. So the fish collapsed. And you know the way head of fish can be if you eat it anyhow. It just collapsed, and I was wondering that she won't ask. She does this is a fresh soup now. How did this fish? I was not looking at it. I was the only one at home. Before me, I would have kept short. She wouldn't have been sure if it was my elder brother or my younger brother or myself. The three of us would have taken it. So she would share it even. But I was the only one. There was no way she could share it even. And she stripped me naked, locked the door, and said, "Ofe Jadi." What that means is you want to be stealing. She beat the living. No, I've never experienced such in my life. My mom beat me so much that after she was done, they don't have, African parents, they don't apologize. After she was done, I just went to the balcony and I was wondering, it has to be in a dustbin. That's where she found me. This woman can't be that boy. That's to be the dustbin. Then my father came back, noticed that the talkative boy is in the balcony all by himself. Then he then called me to say, good cop, bad cop. They started doing the whole thing. So my point is, you stole fish, they killed you. How much more bringing money that's not yours? They will call police and beat the living. But now we hear stories of parents doing freedom for their children from Yahoo boy houses, what they call HK. You know what HK is?
What's that?
You don't know what HK is? HK is the way, what's the word? The way I learned footwear making now that I went to my boss, took drinks and stuff, paid money.
Okay.
And I was there for a while till I knew how to do it. Okay. HK too, you go, you will learn from someone that is already doing successfully scamming people. Then you learn. So maybe your first 5 or 10 successful scams, he has a giant share of it. Because as you are with him, he's teaching you, is feeding you, instructing you. You are under.
It's an academy now.
It's not.
There is Yahoo Boys Mothers Union of Nigeria.
I heard so.
I think there are one branch in Calabar, one branch in Osun, in Osun State. I think recently they busted one in Delta.
This is a national crisis, because and people are afraid of missing out.
Yeah, so that's why I said that missing out isn't even a positive missing out per se.
And that's the thing. One of the things that makes for the idea of missing out is you see what is obtainable, what is popular. Okay, this is what happens now. People use so iPhone. then you marry that idea that this is what I am supposed to be using.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't use it, you are panicking. There is no content. The word contentment, I can't remember the last time I saw
Somebody
it
who was telling
online.
me this story. I think my other sister was saying that she was talking with somebody, with an instructor, and the person said the word contentment flew. When I was a child, when I was on Franklin, I think the biggest note then was 20 naira.
Like my
I
Jesus.
remember 20 naira.
My Jesus.
1 naira was a note.
Yeah, I remember seeing it, but I didn't spend
Was a note. Then there was 5 kobo,
the
50
coins.
kobo, coin. 5 kobo, 10 kobo, 50 kobo. Then 5 naira, 10 naira. Now you see that 20 naira. See, first of all, if somebody even gave me money, I dare not use it. I will give it to my.
Actually, now.
So maybe somebody just come, okay, this is 320 naira, take 3 of it. That's a lot of money. Now, if you held 20 naira, it was a lot of money. And you have a lot of explaining to do if you are caught with it.
Actually,
In fact,
you
if
justify it.
If you took certain amount of money on you and you went to school, you came to school with how much? Who gave it to you? Where did you even see it, get it?
Your friend will not spend it with you
Do you
because
know
they
that?
are afraid that the consequence will come with
Yes, do you know that today now? Over this, I will report it, but today, if your child had 5,000 naira on it, and even approach the teacher to say, God has opened the God has got that night there. There's a problem.
Do you know,
People will kill, they will steal.
in primary 4 or primary 3? We went for an excursion in the airport, at the airport. I can never forget. It was one of the first times I left my, what's the word, that I just went far and saw airplanes, saw white people and everything. I was going that morning. My daddy said he would give me money. Then it was 5 naira, 10 naira, 5 naira, 10 naira. That's what you take to school. 5 naira, 10 naira, and to get you stuff. 20 naira was 20 naira.
5 naira, 10 naira to get you stuff.
It will get you stuff. Guess what my daddy gave me that money? He gave me 100 naira.
Jesus is Lord.
And said, buy anything when you get to the airport, enjoy yourself. I brought that money back home. You know why? I was overwhelmed. I didn't know where to start from. How to spend it. I didn't know. I told my friend, he was the one trying to, okay, should we buy? We didn't know how to use 100 naira. We were confused. The fear was there. But if you look at it now, like I said, where the conversation was coming from, that conversation surrounding contentment, even that scripture that said, well, godliness with contentment is great gain. It's been a while I saw it, and we use the internet a lot of times, where scriptures pop up a lot of you will never, people shy away from. We even find a way to embrace, we call it ambition. You don't want to settle for less, and it's just your eye no one stay one place, because we are comparing. We are seeing it, especially in this age of internet.
Exactly. I feel like now that people are on social media, I don't have to be your friend. I have to be in Asaba, and I'll be making my money, and I will just post it. Someone in Uyo is a very good place. Someone in the heart of the slums, somewhere with one small technophone, to see it and look at my mate out there.
I just feel pressure. We just feel pressure.
I feel that has put a lot of pressure on law.
So now the point is to move on from this. We have to begin to draw lines. First of all, especially for benefit of our viewers watching, I think we should harp on what you said, Mr. Seo. Defining the it for you. You can't let the internet, as much as we fight it, most of the things we watch, most of the things we see, is like Inception. It drops something in our head, and before you know it. There was one time in my life, some 5-6 years ago, I didn't used to open Instagram, and I'm not kidding. I used to leave Instagram depressed every time. I'm not even joking.
For people who are probably faking whatever you are saying.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Of course.
I'm not even joking. This is not me trying to say it for conversation's sake. I would see this person. And that time, what contributed to it a little bit was the fact that admission wasn't forthcoming then. And all the people that I was dusting them in their score, they will do my score, they won't sniff it. They will be looking at me like the elite. But it was me that won't get in. They that didn't get up to anything we get in. Then you see them, they are making new friends, they are, doing stuff in school, maybe debate, you're seeing pictures, and you're just like, this life, it's not fair. And you feel like the world has left you behind, you are done for. There was one time I was almost tilting towards resignation, that I should just resign this life. I'm very serious. It plagued me for a while.
Yes.
Until I found help from God. It plagued me for a while.
I totally, sometimes, but what also helped me was that my circulation, at the point I started noticing there was somebody who went overseas, did a course, came back. The person's LinkedIn page was always bustling with the latest things, long. One day the person now came and said, I define work.
My Lord.
I said,
are you serious?
I thought this was glittering. How come it's not good?
You define work again.
See, some of those things they say today I had a privilege. That's the language. I had the privilege of meeting I can tell you. So one principle I learned in life, there's a preacher who said that for 12 years, it was like saying he didn't see the light. He had the message, he had the anointing, he had everything. But for 12 years, so he said he pray and tell God, that person has gone far. He's writing books, he's doing this and that, and I'm stuck here. So God will say, who told you he has gone far? 12 years later, that man is as it were a global voice. And all those that seem to have gone ahead of him are nowhere to be found. So that thing, one of my mottos, I'm just sharing, is a secret that I always say, nobody gets ahead in life. If you take
because
it in
we're
context,
not running the same race.
No, yes, that's to say, nobody goes so far that the person's advance is at the detriment of my own personal. I don't ever buy. No. Because your time will come, and when it comes, one single leap. This is not time. My time is going. 1,000 years is like a day, and a day is like 1,000 years, which means that all the blessings of 1,000 years can be packed into one moment of.
I think we should continually have this conversation. just to shove it down our
throat. No, but it came home to me.
For me, even as we round off, for me, one thing that I've learned that I'd like to put out there is the fact that you are, take it from someone that has been behind in quote for years, you are never ever behind.
What?
You are never ever behind.
Say it again.
Now, why I'm saying so is because what is making you seem or feel like you are behind is a certain type of sight the world has given you. It's a corrupted sight. It's a very wrong sight. So age you should have. Who said? That's the big question. Just as you said that, who said at 29 you should have a wife, you should have a child. 23-year-olds are dying. You should be dead too. Is it we should have now? It's the truth. It's the truth. God will help us. God will help us. Maybe we'll bring this conversation back. We never can tell, but definitely if we will. So thank you guys for joining me. Daniel, thank you so much. Dave, thank you. Mr. Cyril, I got nuggets I'll be holding on to. Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of Let's Talk About Tomorrow. Do well to follow us across all social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. So we'll see you on our next episode of Let's Talk About Tomorrow. It's bye for now.
Bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.